Hi everyone, it's really great to be able to present to you from Australia, and thank you very much to Simon for the opportunity. Simon, are you wearing bike pants or have you changed into something more respectable? It's been ages since I've seen you guys and we miss you over here, so it's great to be able to report as one of the members of the Learning Design Special Interest Group. Um, I'm not sure how many other people from the group are going to be doing something similar, but I will keep it brief in case there are other presentations. And just wanted to, I suppose, briefly share some of the work that I'm doing in case people over there are interested in the same things and we might be able to collaborate on projects and apply for grants and learn from each other, which is the best fun thing. So one of the things that I've been working on is the concept of blended synchronous learning, where we're trying to get remote students and face-to-face students to interact in real-time lessons in order to learn from one another and with the teacher, using technologies such as web conferencing, virtual worlds, desktop video conferencing. So as part of the Australian Office of Learning and Teaching Blended Synchronous Learning project, we completed 7 case studies of higher education academics who are using this approach in Australia, and we've got all of the resources associated with that and videos, etc. If you're interested in that sort of technique and some of the issues and how to do it well, or research surrounding it, then please hop onto our website and make contact with us as well. There's a blended synchronous learning handbook that covers the background and some of the conceptual frameworks that we developed, including in chapter 14, there's a blended synchronous learning design framework. So if any of that's useful or interesting, then please take a look. So that's just a quick screenshot of the framework and some of the case studies that were run. Some really interesting case studies, for instance, using virtual worlds and scenario-based role plays, polling activities and web conferencing, and just the dynamics and pragmatics as well, and effects of using these rich media synchronous technologies to enable remote and face-to-face students to interact with one another while they learn. We also tried something a little bit nifty. We did one case study where we had face-to-face students actually speaking to remote students in a virtual world and vice versa by elaborate sort of setup of cameras and whatnot. So if you're interested in that, we've recently published a British Journal of Educational Technology paper. And the previous framework, if you didn't want to read the whole 200-page handbook, there is a paper that's open access in Computers and Education that covers it. Another thing that I'm really curious about and interested in is the use of Web 2 technologies and learning design using Web 2. So recently I got a bit obsessed and analysed all of the different Web 2 technologies that I could get my hands on to compile a typology of Web 2 learning technologies. So over 200 different technologies, then categorized into 37 unique types and 14 clusters. And if you're interested in that, then it's available from the EDUCAUSE digital library. And also the methodology of actually, well, how do you go about deriving a typology? And there is a little bit of theory behind that, and so I applied that and published the method and a summary of the results in another BJET article that's also available if you're interested. Have been exploring wearable technologies, so received a small internal grant to investigate the potentials of wearable technologies in higher education. As part of that, we ran an international survey and had a few hundred respondents from around the world to delve into people's perceptions of wearable technologies. And based on that and an analysis of the literature surrounding wearable technologies, They've derived an affordance framework of wearable technologies that looks at the pedagogical uses, affordances related to educational quality, logistical affordances, and also issues. So that's also available open access from the Computers in Education Journal if you'd like to take a look. If you're interested in something a little bit more practical and applied, then please take a look at our recent MLearn paper on uses of wearable technologies in higher education. And that's freely available from the MLearn 2016 conference website. Something that I'm just sort of getting into is investigating computational thinking. I understand that, like Australia, Britain is one of the first countries to formally introduce computing into early stages of your school curriculum. And that's really exciting to me and really important for a variety of reasons that I'm sure most, if not all of you, are aware. But also, I think that there's a real lack of theory and understanding of what's actually going on when people are completing computer programming tasks. So, as well as doing an initial sort of scoping study of teachers' understanding of computational thinking, and we have a paper under evaluation for the Australian Journal of Teacher Education, Australian Journal of Education, regarding how to go about developing computational thinking capabilities of teachers. I have a small internal grant to investigate the actual process that people undertake in terms of what are the moment-by-moment things people are doing when they're solving computing problems. And that's important, I think, for a whole lot of reasons. First, to be able to understand what goes on, but also to be able to then evaluate the impact of different pedagogical strategies, understand how we might make targeted interventions, understand the difference between novice and experts. So I'm just at the beginning of that, and would be very interested in hearing from people or people who know people who are interested in that overseas, because we are definitely looking for international collaborators on that. And finally, probably the biggest thing in terms of the amount of time it's been taking me that I've been working on is the release of a new book, The Design of Technology-Enhanced Learning, Integrating Research and Practice. So it was basically born out of the problem that in my introduction to technology and education course, because I teach pre-service teachers here at Macquarie University, really I was firing people off to a whole lot of different and unconnected readings that weren't quite saying the sorts of things that I wanted to be saying and helping them in the ways I wanted to be helping them. I definitely want to take a research-driven approach, and this book is meant to bridge the gap. So really it's distilling, hopefully, all of the relevant literature that would be useful and interesting to educators generally, not just pre-service teachers. And also one of the intentions is that hopefully this is very useful for researchers to understand some of the more practice-based elements and how teachers might be using the research that they conduct. So in chapters 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6 we're covering the foundations, so understanding technology integration as an imperative, covering off on TPAC, looking at all of the different pedagogies and theories that might inform technology-enhanced learning as a foundation, talking about technology affordances, multimedia learning effects, and then content, and then an important chapter on design that's meant to bring all of those previous chapters together. And then the next 4 chapters look at particular technologies, so Web 2 technologies, social networking, mobile learning and virtual worlds, and look at what the literature says. So they're really comprehensive and up-to-date reviews of the educational literature surrounding the use of each of those technologies. So really breaking down definitions, design frameworks, benefits, issues, does it enhance learning? They include a couple of vignettes for illustrative purposes. And importantly, they distill the recommendations from across the literature so that educators and researchers can really get a grasp of what it means to design using each of those technologies. And the point of all that was to, in Chapter 11, to see what we can actually abstract about the design of technology-enhanced learning. What is common across those different technologies? What remains the same that we might be able to distill as principles or themes? And also, what are the subtle nuances? How does the technology or the design environment or platform definitely make a difference? And why might you choose one as opposed to other? And then Chapter 12 sets some future directions forward. So essentially, that's my little update from my little corner. Would love to hear from anyone interested in any of those things, and would really love to see you all soon. So either run a conference soon for us all to come over there, or we'll run it here and it will cost you a lot more. But at least we'll get to have you over here and take you sailing and to the beach and all of those things. So hope everyone's really well and look forward to talking with you soon.